자, 안녕하세요. 대한민국 장상구입니다. 오늘 온 게스트는 이제 말레이시아에서 온
EVIE.
EVIE 씨. 이분은 이제 말레이시아에서 이제 한국에 와가지고 한국 분이랑 결혼을 해가지고 한국에 이제 정착해서 살고 있습니다. 그쵸?
네.
자기소개 간략하게.
Hi, my name is EVIE. I am from Malaysia, Penang, and I'm 26 years old this year.
26?
Yes.
26.
한국 나이는 27.
27.
네.
남편분.
33.
33.
네. 6년 차이.
6년 차이. 오케이. 좋구나. 그럼 결혼한 지는 얼마나?
1년... 아직?
모른다. 모르는데. 누구야?
Since September. In 2 months it will be 1 year.
이제 말레이시아에 대해서 한번 좀 약간 소개를 해주세요.
Malaysia is like a multicultural country. It's mainly made up of 3 races, Malays, Chinese and Indians. So Malays are kind of like considered the natives. Chinese and Indians kind of immigrated in, but it was quite some time ago. So I am a 4th generation Chinese. So my ancestors came from China. Yeah. So I live in Penang, which is famous for the food, and we have a lot of UNESCO heritage sites in Penang.
그 말레이시아랑 인도네시아 사이 좋죠?
No, it's okay.
사이 괜찮아요?
Yeah.
이거
There's no real
그래요?
conflicts. Yeah.
한국이랑 거의 일본 사이라고 하던데 사이가 안
No.
좋다. 내가 잘못 배웠구나.
There is kind of like a rivalry between Malaysian and Singaporean food.
맞아.
So Singaporeans kind of say that their food is better, Malaysians say, but Malaysians' food is definitely better.
제가 하나 그 유튜브로 이게 말레이시아 공부하다가 또 이게 몰랐던 게 싱가포르가 말레이시아 소속이었죠. 같은 나라였죠.
Yes, it was part of Malaysia and then it got independence from Malaysia.
난 그건 몰랐어. 그래가지고 말레이시아가 되게 다양하대요. 주로 이제 말레이시아 사람, 중국 사람, 인도 사람 하니까 음식도 엄청 다양하고 그 안에 이제 그 외 바깥쪽으로 또 다른 나라들이 함께 막 태국이나 이런 데 있으니까 음식이 진짜 다양하다고. 그 대표적인 음식이 그 루안? 른당?
Rendang?
Rendang.
Yeah, that is one of the famous food like nasi lemak, char kway teow, roti canai. These are some really popular food that you must try if you go to Penang.
그리고 수도는 Kuala
Lumpur. Normally people in Malaysia we call it KL for short. Easier.
그래 더 쉽겠다.
Yeah. In Malaysia, because there are so many different races, a lot of people just speak a lot of different languages. The very least, you will know Malay and English because that's what you study in school. And depending on the schools that you go to, you might learn Chinese. And for Indians, if it's like an elementary school, some of them they teach Tamil, which is one of the Indian dialects. And just among Chinese, there are a lot of different dialects.
I was studying in the United States, and I have some few friends from Malaysia, and they are so rich. 와, 진짜 부자더라.
그래서 미국에서 공부할 수 있는 거지.
그치. 그래서 이제. Thank you for again introducing the Malaysia. And how did you meet your husband? Tell about your story.
So I went to the US to study at Iowa State University. Yeah, so I went to Iowa State to study chemical engineering. And over there, after about, I went in 2013 and...
Wait, same school?
Yes.
Which school?
Iowa State University, in the middle of the US. Famous for corn.
Iowa.
So went there for about 1.5 years, and then after that, my husband also went there for master's in chemical engineering. So then we were in the same major. There's kind of like an international community. So we went to the same spot and just got to know each other.
누가 먼저 대시했어요?
Yeah, so we met there and then we started our relationship about 1.5 years.
A year and a half.
After we started, he had to come back to Korea because he found a job here. So then we did long distance for 1 year and a half. So quite a long time, and after that I was done working in the US, so I decided that I can come here.
So how long you guys have a relation, like a long distance
Long
relationship?
distance for 1 year. One and a half.
Oh, 1.5.
Yeah. We were together for one and a half, and then long
One
distance for one and a half.
The marriage is almost a year.
Yes.
이거는 뭐 유튜브 스토리다 이거는.
We should start a YouTube channel.
그래서 먼저 대시를 했고, what happened? You made you decided to come over.
So I was working in the US, and I was deciding like if I wanted to stay further in the US, or I could come to Korea, because that the company would sponsor, or I could come to Korea. And just because it's kind of a difficult situation in the US, you know, with the government rules keep changing, there is no say that I can permanently stay there. So I kind of don't want to risk, you know, wasting half of my life just there, not being sure whether or not I can be here
all
permanently.
people have the same worries. Like
Yeah.
have to finish a year, like OPT visa, they have to decide to go like somewhere.
Yeah, so my husband is Korean, you know, I won't have a chance of like, you know, oh, am I gonna be leaving Korea? So it's safer to come here.
Did he persuade you?
Kind of. Since he is a little older than me, so then he's also considering like getting married and stuff like that. So.
When you first came to Korea, then you guys get married, right? Then what is like a good point doing like international marriage?
Good point. Traveling.
Traveling.
It's kind of like the other person's home country kind of becomes like your second home. So then it's like you can just freely travel there.
Going back and forth, like freely.
I think that's the best part about international marriage.
Because like your husband also like go to Malaysia, don't worry about like sleeping or food thing, because you have your own home like there.
Yeah.
I think you guys going to Malaysia like often?
Last year we went there twice. Well, he went there twice. I was there after I left the US, and I went back to Malaysia first. So then while I was there, he and his family just visited for 1 week, and after that they went back, and in December we had our Malaysian wedding.
그럼 결혼식을 두 번 한 거야?
We only did it once because we were going to have our wedding like last month, but because of the COVID-19, so my family, it's gonna be more difficult for them to come here.
저 궁금했던 게 그 제 주위에도 위에 국제 결혼한 사람들이 많은데 다들 결혼식을 두 번을 하더라고. 한국에서 한 번, 이제 그 다른 나라에서 한 번. 만약에 그렇게 되면 다른 나라에서 한 번 하게 되면 요 한국 같은 경우에 친구들이나 부모님들만 그 참석을 하고 친구들까지는 다 못 가죠.
We actually had a friend come over. A Korean friend that we met in the US. She came back to Korea, but we invited her, and she was able to go there.
되도록이면 두 번 하는데 웬만해서는 다 초대를 하려고 하는구나.
Yeah, so in Malaysia, we kind of just did like a smaller wedding. We are kind of like the type that don't really want big weddings, so just kind of smaller weddings.
근데 말레이시아에서도 돈을 건나요 사람들한테 축의금?
Yes, we also have that.
그럼 이제 국제 결혼 좋은 점이 하나가 이제 traveling. 그 혹시 또 다른 거?
For me, I like learning languages.
language.
Yeah, so it's nice that I get to learn one more language.
벌써 이제 3개국어를 하니까.
Yeah, so.
영어, 말레이시아, 중국어, 한국어까지 다 하니까 한 5개국어 정도.
Yeah, some Chinese dialects I'm able to understand too. So.
다양하네. 어쨌든 한국어 하나 더 배우는 거. 그러면 이제 traveling language 또 뭐 있나요?
I think that's the main difference between regular.
The 2 point is like a big advantage for international marriage, traveling and language.
Yeah. So I guess one thing that isn't really affecting us is like international marriage. It could be like, for us it's just like Asians, between Asians, but if you were to get married with somebody who's like yeah, Western, you know, then there's a huge like cultural difference. There may be some conflicts there, but for us, it's kind of similar, so we don't have that.
So some of my friends like told me that like, there's sometimes the culture difference causes some problem between them, but I think it is not.
Yeah, yeah.
Only men and women's problem. 이게 국제 연애를 하는 사람들 대체적으로 하는 뭐 싸움 일어나면 핑계 중에 하나가 뭐 문화 차이 이런 거 하는데 문화 차이는 개뿔. 이거 그냥 남녀 차이야. 남녀 차이 때문에 자꾸 싸우더라고요. Here's another case. Okay, like you told me about like some like good points of like international marriage, but what about good points of marrying Korean guy?
Good points. Good point. How is it different?
You compare.
왜? 한 번만 먼저, 한 번만 먼저. 자기소개 간단하게.
안녕하십니까.
예.
옆에 있는 EVIE 남편입니다. 네.
First question is like, what is a good point like getting married Korean guy?
Korean guy.
So what I was wondering is that you haven't married any.
I didn't marry a different guy. How am I
How do you compare? Like,
그래도 이제 뭐 그런 게 그 학교나 이런 데서 다양한 사람들을 봤을 거 아니에요.
이게 삼겹살 별로 없죠. That's a good thing.
Yeah, it makes sense. I
삼겹살 자주 먹는 거.
I can come to Korea. That's one thing. Maybe.
아 진짜? 다른 거 없고.
I guess like maybe different people have different like attitudes and personalities, so it might be different. But he's like a very kind, very nice guy.
Thank you.
착한 거 한국 올 수 있다는 거. 삼겹살 많이 먹을 수 있다는 거.
One thing that you should not expect is for them to act like how you see in dramas.
드라마.
All fake.
이거는 좀 드라마가 좀 잘못되긴 했어요. 드라마가 좀 잘못되긴 했어요.
Over fantasize.
맞아. 아무튼 그러면 말레이시아 여자라서 이제 좋은 점.
말레이시아 여자라도 좋은 점. 근데 말레이시아 사람들이 아까도 말씀하셨지만 약간 언어적으로 되게
맞아.
다양하게 개발을 하잖아요.
네.
그런데 그런 점에서 되게 다 똑똑한 것 같아요. 사람들이 언어를 대하는 데 있어서.
그건 맞는 것 같아요.
왜냐면 이 친구도 한국어를 배우는데 중국어를 하기 때문에 한자어 같은 걸 들으면은
맞아.
그거를 바로바로 이렇게 이해를 다 하더라고요.
그쵸.
그래서 되게 한국에 적응하는데 좀 수월하다? 그래서 전 그런 걱정을 별로 안 해도 돼요. 내가 뭐 다른 사람 뭐 이렇게 해본 건 아니지만 전반적으로 언어에 되게 능통하다 사람들이.
맞아요.
그런 건 되게 장점이 있죠.
I guess good for future kids
맞아.
to learn a lot of languages.
다문화.
2세 계획이 아주 장점이 있죠.
맞아.
And I guess like for Koreans, there's like benefits for like 다문화.
맞아.
So that's another good thing.
난 그게 부럽긴 하더라고요. 끝까지 그 말레이시아 와이프가 이쁘다 뭐 이런 얘기는 안 하고.
Too late.
그럼 언어적인 거 또 두 번째.
저는 말레이시아 음식을 좋아해서 가끔 이제 말레이시아 음식을 해주는데 저는 되게 맛있게 먹거든요.
그래요?
이렇게 되게 음식이 되게 섞인
맞아.
여기저기 섞인 음식들 많아가지고 음식을 먹으면 되게 맛있어요.
말레이시아에서 섞여도 항상 그 고유의 그 음식은 유지를 하려고 뭐 이렇게 하더라고요. 그래서 다양한데 고유의 음식들은 이렇게 계통을 이어나가니까 그게 난 좋더라고요.
그런 음식 문화가 있습니다. 저는 잘 맞아서 되게 좋아요.
부럽다. 그럼 향후 계획은 이제?
일단 짧게는 와이프가 좀 한국에서 자리를 좀 잡아서 뭐 일을 하거나 자기가 하고 싶은 걸 찾는 게 좀 목표긴 해서 단기적인 목표는.
Now, what is it like a visa thing? Is it like
Right now I have the spouse visa, F6. So it's like there are no restrictions for me to work or anything. So yeah, the main obstacle in working is the language. So hopefully once I get the language,
there's a language test too.
There is no like official language test, but a lot of the times when you want to find a job, since you're in Korea, you have to speak Korean. So yeah.
잘하실 겁니다.
Hope so.
오늘 제가 이제 커플 분들을 모셔놓고 이제 노바시 새우라고 이제 튀김용 새우를 판매를 하는데 그 새우를 한번 제가 요리를 같이 한번 해보겠습니다. 토크는 여기까지 하고 다음 영상이 궁금하신 분은 밑에 영상을 클릭해 주시면 감사하겠습니다.